Good morning, friends. Hello, hello. How are you this morning? Jamie, good morning. Amy, how are you? Glad to see you here today. I hope you guys have power over there. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Hey, Vicky. Hello. John Wills, everybody. How are you, John? Hope you're doing well. All good and well. Very nice. Excellent. Good to hear. Yes, I am aware somebody is a birthday girl today. Good morning, everybody. Cecile, good morning to you. Hope you're having a great day. And yes, hope you're well too. Everybody's safe and warm. Good morning, Donna. Glad never lost power. Very nice. Very good. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, everyone? Happy birthday to Jamie. How are you, everyone? Good to see you coming in. Glad to see everybody. We'll give it one more sec here and get on our way. Good morning, Bonnie. Hope you're well. Things are good with you. Yeah, headed to the farm to see what kind of clean up there. Clean up all over for sure. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Well, welcome, everybody. It is. We're going to start this day by saying happy birthday to the lovely and talented and my dear friend Jamie Battles, it is her birthday today. She is turning 29, and so by virtue of that, if it is your birthday on our live stream and we know about it, we will sing happy birthday to you. So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jamie. Happy birthday to you. All right. So happy birthday, honey. I hope it's great, and I hope it is a good day, and I hope all of you are having a good day as well. Good morning. Good morning, Rosalia. So, because today is the 27th day of October on this Wednesday at 11:11, and I am glad you're with us and glad you are here. We have been in this area and on this place going through a huge storm. We've that one of the local harbors has a bunch of boats stacked up. New Bedford Airport had some planes that got scrunched around. There was a whole bunch of storms on this day last night. In fact, and there's a bunch of you, I bet, that might even listen to this without some power. So. So this notion of storms. So I want to talk about storms today because they're pretty prevalent within the biblical story. And in fact, we right out of the gate of the story, we find the story of Noah with the great flood, the great storm that comes over the land. for its purification, for um, and numerous times in Bible we find Jesus contending with the disciples in the boat in the storm, and so again we find ourselves and we too move through the storms of our lives. That storms are not alien to us. They are not foreign to us. They are, in fact, the things we are going to endure as Jamie encounters this day and looks forward to the next trip around the sun and all that this day is going to bring and all that this next year is going to bring. There will inevitably be storms in her journey. We don't wish it. We don't want it. But we know that they're going to come. We know that just like last night, that with the wind bending the trees over and the everything scattered around and their trees falling over power lines and many people without power, so too are we in our internal state going to encounter places where we feel like the world is pressing upon us, where we can't even think ourselves straight because any thoughts we would pick up are just carried away by the incredible pressures that we're feeling on and around us, and that even in our journey we might find ourselves losing our own agency and losing our own power. But friends, we're built for storms. We're built for them. We're made to endure these things that come to us, and we're not alone in them. We're not held to our own ability to simply endure these storms and kind of get through it. No, we are ever and always invited to the reality of what these storms are all about, which is that we're going to make something new. That God's in the business of making something new in our life. C.S. Lewis once said that we're great when God shows up and with a little bit of a remodel to our house. And we're great when God shows up and we get out some new furniture and we feel a little better about ourselves and we move through the day a little better. But soon, before we know it, that what starts happening in our lives is that walls start getting blown out, and that entire floors start being removed from the person that we are and from the person that we were, and we get scared. Because there's this way in which we begin to become other than we are or were or thought we should be. It's all well and fine to let God remodel our house, but we are not built for living in houses. We are, friends, built for living in castles. And this image that Lewis offers us is one that when we encounter the storms of our life that will inevitably come, when we encounter the hard things of our days, which will inevitably be before us, that encounter is not set there to destroy us. It is set there that we might become new people in Christ. Paul's second letter to the Corinthians. Again, remember, he writes to the Corinthians and he's trying to, they're a tough bunch and he's trying to get through to them. And so in this, he writes 2 letters. Wherever you get 2 letters, there's always, okay, all right, I'm trying again. So he sends the second letter to the Corinthians, and he says, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone. The new has come. The implications of this verse are very real. We often enter the spiritual life. We often come to Christ. We often come because there's something about our life maybe that got unmanageable. There's something or we were called and compelled. We just felt the truth of it, or we felt the love of it. We had the experience of God in our lives, and knew that was better. But however we find our way there, and maybe even haven't yet. But however we find ourselves there, there's this way in which we have these tentative little steps of trying to, of we're happy to be shined up, bright, shiny, happy people, like we're happy to be church people and, look good on Sunday and be happy and present to the world as if we have it all together and all these things. And again, I'm not judging anybody. This doesn't make us bad people or anything like that. But it's just saying that our initial implication, our initial journey of stepping into the outdoors, stepping into the whirlwind and the maelstrom that it is to follow this Jesus guy is not just this sense of being buffed up or having some of our rough edges worn off or somehow but it is it is being radically and powerfully known down to the very core of our being, and to be remade in ways that we could never imagine to be new in ways that we could never imagine being new, to be recreated in ways that we never imagined recreation could happen. Cannot be other than we are, but to be truly as we are in God's sight. This is the invitation to the walk, and whenever I encounter these earthly storms that like we had last night, whenever we have to endure all this stuff or rake up the leaves or whatever it is we have to do to contend with it, or maybe it slid right past you and you're great and that's awesome, but we always see the world around us transformed. It's not just changed, or it's not just buffed up. It's not just that a couple of dead branches come down and new branches can grow up. No. Sometimes we see the world radically changed in the midst of storms. And friends, I want to invite you to the fact that God is in the business of radically transforming your life. That's what God is looking at. That you'll be a new person. And I know we bristle at this, we poo-poo this, we kind of, all the different ways that we come at this, like, oh, I like going to church, I like the fellowship, I like all these things, but God's sneaky. I don't know if you remember a day or two ago, before this storm, it was gorgeous. It was like nothing, like a late October day. It was warm and it was beautiful. There was barely a hint of wind. That in this, and simply, and somebody even said it on that a few days ago, that this is, oh yeah, this is the calm before the storm. Largely all of our life is the calm before the storm. Jesus shows up to us in the boat when our little ship is about to be capsized. God shows up in the Psalms when again and again the people of Israel are about to be overwhelmed, and comes to be shelter from the storm. Friends, my invitation to you is that God's not just in the business of sheltering. God's in the business of making you a new person. And it's a sneaky process. It's an organic process. It's one like somehow these storms always seem to happen in the dark, but sometimes it's a process that happens in the dark, away from our own eyes, away from what we've seen. But it is a promise. It's not an idea. It's not a thought. It's not something that might happen if you do it right. It is if you stay in relationship with the one who made you, and a surety that you'll be made new. You'll be found to wake up one day and discover all those things that you simply couldn't lay down, that you simply couldn't get over, that you simply couldn't find the way to negotiate, will actually find their way with you and for you and through you. We always like to have this image of Jesus on the path with us or ahead of us, kind of blazing this trail for us about what we're invited to step into. But God is not just there. God is with us. God is ahead of us for that quiet moment when the storm has blown itself out. God is with us in the midst of the storm, in the boat where we feel like we will flounder and die. But God is also behind us, encouraging and making right and reconciling those places that we just feel like we screwed it up so badly there's no possible way we could ever be eligible for love or grace ever again, or those places that the world so brutally treated us that we feel like we could never be vessels or agents of good. God is in the storms of our past, in the storms of our present, and God is lining up even in the storms of our future to bring us into that beautiful moment when the wind stops blowing, when the trees stop swaying, and we find ourselves a new creature. We find ourselves a new creation. We find that the old has gone and that the new has come. So as this storm blows itself out here in the mid coast and or in the south coast, and if you find yourself or wherever you find yourself, you'll encounter your storms soon enough too. I hope you'll remember that not only as our trees stop moving, so too will one moment your heart and your mind and all the turmoil of your inner life. And there will be a God that knows nothing but peace, and that your Father in heaven that wants to give you all good things will make you a new creation. All right, friends, that's my hope for you today. Jamie, I wish you the very, very happiest of birthdays. I hope it is a wonderful, wonderful day. Sharon, welcome. So glad you snuck in. Rosalia, good to see you. Audrey, glad you're here. Hope everybody's good. That we just by commercial tonight, if you are in Fall River, we are having our all church family night, which means anybody and everybody in the church. You show up at 5:30. We will feed you. You will get dinner, and we'll have a program, and you will be out and on your way before 7:00. That's our commitment to you. It's an hour and a half. Hey, you have to eat. So come on out, spend some time with your church family, spend some time with each other. Please come. Again, don't bring anything. We don't want anything from you. This is our opportunity to have a meal together and to have a little bit of a lesson and a study together and enjoy our time in fellowship and in faith. So I hope you'll be a part of this tonight. Again, 5:30 right here at 282 Rock Street. You are all welcome, and would love to see each and every one of you. All right, my friends, peace and grace. We'll pick it up tomorrow with another 11:11.